All right, so to end this course, we should probably talk about cell reuse really quickly. By interacting with the app, you would think that we've made a mistake again with our data source methods and are somehow incorrectly mutating data resulting in unwanted favorites. Sort of true. But that's not what's really happening. To understand this, let's add a print statement in the cell for row at index path method in the contacts data source object. So right here, I'll add this at the bottom. So we'll say print is favorite, and then contact.isFavorite. And then, so we'll print the status, whether the contact is a favorite or not, as well as the section and row information. So we'll say section index path.section, make sure I write it correctly this time, and row. And then this is index path.row. And so here we're checking to see if a contact is a favorite and then logging the index path values. As each cell is set up, we'll get the print statement for every single cell. So run the app. And when it starts up the first time without marking anything as favorite, let's scroll through quickly and you'll see that it says false for every single cell. And let's go all the way back to the top. Now let's go ahead and favorite a contact. So we'll pick one, mark as favorite, and we'll just do one to make this easy. Actually, you know what? Let me do that again. I'm going to run this again, and I'm going to do the very first contact. It'll be easier to understand. So go ahead, click the first contact, mark as favorite. And when you go back through and scroll, the list should say is favorite true, section 0, row 0. So you can see right here, it says it is favorite true, section 0, row 0. Now quickly scroll through the list again. Again, you'll see that additional rows have stars. But if you look at any of the log statements, it still only says that section 0, row 0 has is favorite set to true. None of the others, despite this second last one here showing a star, you'll see the second last one still says false. So what's going on here is an issue with cell reuse. So I'm going to run the app again. Now, on the simulator I'm using here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows on screen. Now again, I'm going to favorite the very first row, section 0, row 0. Now, when I scroll, notice that row, let's say, so again, remember we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So row 9 is the one with the star. Row 9 or row 10, I wasn't counting. If you scroll carefully, you'll notice that this is the first row to be drawn when the very first row is completely off screen. So essentially, row 0 from section 0 is now being reused by the table view here to draw this new row. If you remember that graphic we showed you earlier where basically when the very first cell pops off the top, it is reused at the bottom so that the table view doesn't have to do all this additional drawing work, that's what's happening here. And the issue is that we didn't take care of clearing out the state properly. This is because of a very subtle bug in our code. So in cell for row at index path, it is your responsibility to reset the state for all table view cells, any subviews that we've added, and assign any values to those stored properties. So the issue here is in our if statement that assigns an image to the image view. We've only taken care of the state where a contact is a favorite, and then we assign an image. On the first pass, this is okay because all cells will skip this conditional logic. When that very first cell is reused, however, we need to reset all the stored properties to use new data that reflects the current contact. At this point, however, the contact is favorite, its value is false when we're reusing the cell, which means we're going to skip this if statement and we're not going to do anything about the image assigned to the favorite icon image view. But since this cell is being reused, that image view will still be assigned a star from that first iteration when we clicked on the favorite button for the first cell. And this is why we see the star as we scroll through the rest of the list. When we scroll, every time we see the same star, that's that same cell being reused. So to fix this, we just need to reset it in all cases so that whatever case happens when the cell is being reused, whatever contact is passed through, we adjust for that. So here we'll add an else statement. So if the contact isn't a favorite, then we need to reset the state of the image view property. And we'll do that by saying contact cell dot favorite icon dot image equal nil. So in the event that is favorite is false, the image will be nil. And now the problem should be solved. So let's check it out. So hit stop, start it over. We can get rid of this print statement as well. And now if I favorite a contact, I should be able to scroll through and no problems. So just keep in mind, make sure you reset all subviews of a cell in the cell4roid index path method, taking into account all the cases. If you need to reset certain properties of the cell itself, of its content view rather, properties like background color or the alpha property for opacity, there is a method you can override in the UI table view cell subclass. So if we go to the contact cell, you can override a method called prepare for reuse, and then configure this to whatever you need. But that's a lesson for another day. With that, let's conclude. Table views are an awesome tool, and you'll be able to accomplish much more now that you have this tool in your tool belt. In a previous course, you learned how to build a weather app. Try combining that knowledge with a table view to display the weather for the entire week. Have fun and good luck. I'll see you in the next course.